Hey everyone. There's no one that watches these. Anyway, I rearranged my room. Just a lot of windows over here now. Probably not the best idea for someone as paranoid as me to be sleeping right underneath a freaking window when Florida is famous for its thunderstorms and hurricanes and crap. But this was the only place that I could put it that opened up the room more, especially since I didn't want the TV to be right there. I was originally just going to turn the bed and then put the TV against this wall. I was about to do this. Um, I ended up not doing it, and so instead, I put everything on the opposite wall. Um, it's not complete yet. We did move my sister's horrendous antique lamp out of here, and thank God for that because I can't stand that thing. Um, the only thing I wasn't able to get out of here is her ridiculous age-old TV that is too heavy to lift. I can lift it, um, but after making it to the front door, I would need help because then it's too heavy. So it's kind of a I can lift it, but it's probably going to kill me in the process type thing. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Figure out how to do this without breaking anything. Um, so okay, window, my bed, all my pillows. I put my head against my mom's wall. She's on the exact opposite in the exact opposite room, and her bed is all the way on the other side of the wall. Not against this wall. So it they almost look identical. Her room's a bit bigger than mine. They would probably be the same size if I didn't have the closet, but anyway. Uh, Give me okay. So door, my chair I moved over here right next to the bed. Right now it's piled in clothes. The black thing is mine. I put it over my sister's TV because the glare makes me feel like someone's staring at me and I do not like it. Um, then I have the big the big bulky table, which is really heavy. Um, then I have the little black table. I don't know if y'all can see that. Next to the Pepsi box is a little black table. It is lighter than all hell and very unstable, so it was quite difficult to move. Then I have the laundry basket. Then I have the fan, my TV. The TV, unfortunately, does not stand on its own, so I had to place it against the wall, and I didn't like that. I kind of wanted to put it at an angle, but then it's not fitting evenly onto the little dressers, cabinets, whatever you would call those. So I put it right in the middle. And yes, I left a gap in between them because cords need to go through there so I can hide most of them. and then my Wii, and then charging cables and mini fridge. Mini mini fridge. But it gives it a lot more uh, space once I get rid of that horrendous TV as well. Now, my sister said she needs that TV to play her Nintendo, the old one, and she doesn't. I don't understand why people think they need the old stuff to continue playing the old stuff because you don't. Um, some of the newer gaming systems that are coming out are said to have the AVI cords, which are the red, yellow, and what was it, green? Can't remember the color of the third one. Whoops, it's been a while. Um, so you don't need that. Um, for the Nintendo Wii, it has an HDMI converter, which thank God, because I don't have to use the AVI cords. And the only reason I don't like using them is because the model of TV that my mom has, it's all the way on the opposite side of the TV and underneath. And it's really difficult to get to when it has to be against the wall. So I have to have two people just to hook the cords up in the back. So I leave the HDMI cord plugged in at all times. Everything else is unplugged. Well, except for my fan because I leave that going 24/7. Um, but anyway, the TV that she has in her apartment now has the AVI plug-in. She can plug her Nintendo into the TV and still be able to play it. For some reason, she's convinced herself that only the old TVs will play it. Not true. That's why all TVs still have the AVI settings, which is audio video input, which apparently she does not get. But yeah, the old TV is a piece of crap. Some of them, like, don't get me wrong, I understand that some people really adore those because they're square, and they just fit. Especially if you are an organizational freak, they work perfectly. Eventually, I'm gonna move that big black table into the closet once it gets emptied, which I highly doubt will ever actually happen, even though everyone tries to convince me it will. It will not. Um, so yeah, the old TVs are unnecessary. I understand that some people would rather not get into cable TV and stuff like that, so they use antennas, and the best ones to use those on are the old TVs. Excuse me, that came out of nowhere. So, forgive me. It took me like an hour and a half to actually get out of bed today because for some reason, even though I sit perfectly still, I got motion sickness. I don't know why, but yeah, I got motion sickness. Now that usually only happens when I watch Markiplier's videos because of how much he turns the camera when he gets spooked. But I was just reading yesterday and just felt nauseous. I don't know. It's not because of my sugar intake or lack of, which is usually my issue, is the lack of sugar. Um, I think maybe it was because I moved around too much, rearranging my room and everything, and my body was just like, "Yeah, we were not ready for this." Because for the last couple of days, I haven't really moved much because my legs were there was something wrong with them. It felt like felt like the back of my calves were going to fall off, and then along that side of my thigh, it felt like it was being sliced very thinly by a knife. It hurt like hell. Well, it finally stopped, and I was like, okay. I was like, thank God, because I can't stand that. And then my brain was like, so how about we rearrange the room? After staying perfectly still, my brain was like, so we're going to do something about this. So I rearranged the room. My legs hurt. Not as bad, but they're a little sore, which is good because it was the right amount of exercise. Um, the only issue was that the rest of me was like, well, my brain was like, hey, we're going to get motion sickness now. So this is what we're going to deal with. Uh, there's a lot of uhs, as usual. So yeah, rearranged my room. Uh, we've been dealing with a lot of rain in Florida, Gulf breeze. Well, we did yesterday and a little bit of the day before. Supposedly it was supposed to last all week, but you can't see up there. The glare too bad. What am I thinking? That's smart. Oh God, I just undid everything. There we go. Okay. Anyway, it's cloudy, but usually when it's like this, it skips right over us because it hates us. When I first moved here, we got a crazy amount of thunderstorms and rain, and people were like, "Well, you moved from Washington. Wouldn't you be sick of the rain by now?" No, because the rain in Washington is oily. When it hits your skin, you feel disgusting. It is gross. All the water there gives you this oily feeling to your skin, and you feel like you need a shower and need to be scrubbing. And it gets so bad that you want to file your own skin off because it's just how gross it is. Even drinking the water up there is disgusting. It tastes horrible. Like in Washington and um, Oregon, it tastes a lot like chlorine, and I can't, I can't do it. It's got this horrible bitter taste to it. Like the aftertaste afterwards tastes 10 times worse than anything else. And people like the water tastes the same wherever you go. No, no, it doesn't. It's completely different. That's why there's several different ways to brew tea and or coffee, and depending on where you go. North Carolina, the water has a bit of kind of like a horrible medicine aftertaste to it. Not too bad, but I grew up with that water, so it doesn't affect me the same way. And then there's Florida, where everyone claims that the water has all these chemicals and stuff in it, but it's not as bad. Like it tastes cleaner than anywhere else. Um, and my hair's like all over the place. It's like, hey, we got washed yesterday. Woo! Um, So no, water's different everywhere, and if you drink a lot of water or you're like me and you have to consume a lot of sugar because your body doesn't retain it, which really sucks. It makes it very difficult to lose weight. I found that Pepsi was the best for me to keep sugar in my system, but I gained weight like crazy. Anyway, um, yeah, water tastes different. So anytime you go anywhere, pay attention. In Washington, it is a lot better to buy bottled water. Even those little faucet purifier things that you get to water purifiers that you can put on your faucet don't really help much. If you have one of those containers that filters the water, those help. But you know, it's Washington. Anyway, anyway, so I started reading this new manga called well, it has two different titles because when you look at the ending screen, it says the demonic contract, but when you're looking it up, it says the Asmodonian contract. Yeah, Asmodonian's contract. I don't know why they decided to put it that way, but whatever. I started reading that, and it's one of those really comedic type mangas. There's still romance involved in it, but it hasn't even started touching on that yet. You got people blushing around her and stuff like that, but she's too focused on what she's supposed to be doing. So basically, this princess named what was her fucking name? She Marianne. Yeah, I keep they spell it differently throughout the entire manga. Anyway, um, so Marianne gets poisoned by her stepmother. I guess technically you would call her stepmother. Her mother died, and the queen, the new Empress Ophelius, has three kids. And to make sure that I don't even know why she's against Marianne in the first place because it just makes no sense. She has the two sons, and they're going to ascend to the throne anyway. So I don't know why she's so concerned over the princess. Anyway, and she has a daughter of her own, so it makes no sense to me. Anyway, um, the king is very fond of his daughter, loves her to death. She starts out believing that one of Ophelia's sons was her brother because he looks exactly like her mother. So she thought they were actually brother and sister. Uh, his name's they changed it. When you first start reading it, it's Lumiere. Afterwards, they change it to Rumiere. I go with Lumiere. I'd rather think of a candlestick than a roomy air. Anyway, uh, I'm pretty sure you can pronounce that differently to make it sound better, but I'm horrible with names to begin with. So, uh, anyway, they grow up. Uh, she realizes that Lumiere is not her biological brother. He is Ophelia's son, and she gets really mad. She starts resenting her. Anyway, the queen poisons her, and against what she was taught, she summons a demon, uh, calls upon a demon on her deathbed, and asks the demon to live as her and get revenge on them. And she just said, "Why not just save your life and hire me to take revenge on them?" She was like, "No, I want to do this with my own body." And she was like, "Okay." So anyway, she makes the fatal mistake of taking over Marianne's body without getting the price. So which means she doesn't take her soul. Uh which causes a big issue. She will most likely either lose her powers or be stuck as in a human body forever. Well, until that human body dies. I don't know what happened to her body though. So that I don't understand how all of this is going to work. Anyway, I get the feeling that she's going to fall for one of the knights named Eric. I believe he was a royal knight. I'm not entirely sure what they said he was. Anyway, I'm pretty sure she's gonna fall for him. That's usually the way it goes. But he's cute. It's fine. So anyway, the story goes, she takes over, she wakes up from being poisoned after I believe it was a week or 2 weeks. And they were about to fully give up on her. Still they were completely concerned. They had put her back in bed and blah blah blah. And so the demon, I'm just gonna call her Yuri for short, uh, has taken over Marianne's body. She doesn't know anything. She knows basic information on what the princess has told her, but not day to day life and how she's supposed to handle it. Because the difference between demons and human princesses is completely different. While demons focus more on strategy, swordplay, and pranks and stuff like that, anything having to do with death and stuff like that, that's demon's focus. While a human princess is more political. So she has to relearn doing this. Now, here's the part that's getting me is that Ophelia's brother, I can't remember his name. I will never remember his name. Uh, has hired these teachers to teach her. I didn't realize he was the brother at first. When they mentioned it, I was like, isn't he just going to try to screw over the princess? Like, is that what he's going to do? Well, the queen is fully convinced that the princess is still stupid, regardless, because let's all face it, Marianne was kind of not the sharpest tool in the shed. Uh, she would just lash out and throw fits like most princesses or like most characters in mangas do when they're proclaimed the villainess. Um, she, however, is not a villainess. So I'm thinking that that her brother is not picking a side. He's not going with his sister or the princess. He's just kind of there. That's the feeling I'm getting from him because anytime it comes to his sister or them talking about getting rid of the princess, he's like, He just kind of doesn't want to deal with it. Now, his son, Eric, is the one that he wants to marry the princess. I don't know why. Uh, he actually wants to keep Eric close to her to keep an eye on her, is what he says. But from what I've seen, Eric's not good at keeping an eye on anybody because he's too busy practicing his damn swordplay. So he's not concerned at all about the damn princess until he realizes he starts falling for her. Now, I'm only 29 chapters in, and we've just gotten to a part where two envoys have come from different places and are fighting over this lake type thing. Um, as a demon, well, her soul being a demon princess, she knows different languages. She can speak them as well. They were taught this. Mainly because if an elf is speaking Elvish trying to make a contract with you, you need to understand what they're saying. Everyone has their own different type of language. So she knows how to speak Elvish and all this other crap. Anyway, we're getting to this point, and the Duke explains everything to her as to why these people are fighting and stuff like that. Her older brother Ryan was put in charge of it. Well, I guess you can't really call him an older brother because she doesn't consider them family. But anyway, the oldest prince is Ryan. He's the one, Ophelia is trying to get him to be the crown prince instead of Lumiere. But since both are her sons, it doesn't matter either way. But she likes Ryan better because he's easier to manipulate. And no one knows what's going on with Lumiere. He's a freaking moron. I don't I don't trust him at all. Anyway, so this whole thing starts going on. I've read past this point once, so I'm not completely clear as to what's going on. From what I've seen, this prince, second prince of some other kingdom, very pretty by the way. He's got these lightish red eyes. They kind of have an orangish goldish hue to them and blonde hair, tan skin. He has a thing for the princess, which is obvious. Like very obvious that he has a thing for her. Just way too obvious. Just when they first meet, you can tell he's already got a crush on her because he ends the meeting very quickly so that she can go and rest. Sorry. Whew. Felt like I was going to cough up a lung. Anyway, so very obvious that he has a crush on her. And the Elvish's secretary, I believe, is what he is. He's handling two jobs, so I'm not entirely sure. He's a interpreter and something else. I believe a secretary or something along those lines. Anyway, the translation is getting screwed up because of the interpreter who's trying to be as friendly as possible and leaving out information. And uh, so at some point, the princess ends up running into the elvish leader and speaks with him in his own tongue, which shocks the living hell out of him. Uh, and then they ask her to head the conversation between them because Ryan's not getting the job done. Now, her first day, she feels like she didn't do a good enough job. She feels like there wasn't much for her to do. Uh, Afterwards, however, when she goes back, which I believe they skip a chapter, and when she goes back, they get things straightened out fairly easily because she's there. Ryan was of no help. And of course, everyone's getting suspicious as to how the princess knows how to do this and this and this, because let's all face it, the meanest that Princess Marianne has ever been was throwing vases at maids and slapping people. She's a freaking princess. I mean, she's got no use for swordplay and stuff like that. I'm really curious as to what they're going to do with her parents, though, because Yuri's parents are the Demon King and Queen. So she's a princess either way. But the only problem is chances are she's not going to be able to go back to her original body because she won't have any powers. So she'd have to stay as a human. I don't know about you guys, but I don't actually see her doing that. I mean, between the two of them, I would rather be in my demon form because wow. The human form may be pretty, but it's got a really bad reputation. Well, the demon princess has one hell of a reputation, and you don't want to fuck with her. My hair's already starting to grow out. I did not notice that. So anyway, uh, so we've got this whole thing going on. I figured it would have been different. Um, I figured that she would have completed the contract uh, while someone secretly fell for her type deal and all that. And it ended up not being that way. It seems fairly clear who's going to fall for the princess and who's not. Um, who's trying to kill the princess and who's not, and blah blah blah. Like they've made it pretty freaking obvious who's who and who are the potential people that she'll love. Obviously, it's not going to be the pretty blue haired boy because, well, she thought he was a she for quite a while. And, anyway, it's really good. I like the story. Um, the villainess is a marionette is also a very good one. I have actually started seeing that one on TikTok being advertised lately. I'm like, I've already read it. Like, it's not finished yet, but the updates are so freaking slow. It's driving me insane. And it ends with one of the crazy jackasses looks like he was going to kidnap her. That's what it looks like at this point, which I'm really hoping he does because oh my god, is he built like a god. Just ooh, with the right amount of being completely insane too. Not like Joker, who's scrawny as all hell and not very pretty. Henrik, on the other hand, stunning. Ooh, long white hair. Well, I guess In their world, you would call it silver, not white. It would be silver. Because Inuyasha's hair is supposedly silver, not white, even though it's drawn as white. Why it can't be white makes no sense. But also, there are some mangas that label that hair as platinum blonde instead of just blonde. It's platinum blonde, where it's practically white. It has no pigment anymore. Anyway, so he's whew, he is just ooh, like I'm obsessed with him. He's got really long hair. He's built like even just sitting on the carriage, just whew, like oh my god, how can someone be that hot and just that anyway, he looks like he's going to kidnap her, and he's got the perfect smirk. If anyone's ever played Tekken and has played with crap, what is his name? One of the Lees. They have like three Lee characters. One's Bruce Lee, one's Jackie Chan Lee, and the other one is has the white hair, white short hair. Not Brian. He's also a Lee. Um, just the little smirk that they get on their faces. So hot. Anyway, he's posing as her coachman and uh definitely looks like he's going to kidnap her. Uh that that this oh this story I love to death. Then there's another one that I was reading that I never finished. It's called I'll Do That Marriage. Basically, a little sister takes her big sister's place to go and help the emperor sleep because he was cursed by a witch to never sleep. And the fairy blessed both daughters. Uh the females of that family are blessed with being able to put people to sleep. Um it's different for everybody. I don't think it works that way with her sister Leland. Oh, anyway, Leland is the older sister, and her father commands her to go to the emperor and blah blah blah. Well, Lillian, the little sister, knowing exactly what happens when she goes to the emperor, decides to prevent that and goes to the carriage herself and goes to the emperor and puts him to sleep. And after she puts him to sleep, she disappears and leaves a note for him because, well, she kind of needed to. She was going to need his help. So for her, she has to put her lips on some part of their body to make them fall asleep, whether it be the forehead, the back of the hand, the cheek, the lips, whatever. As long as her lips touch some part of their body, she can put them to sleep instantly. I don't know if it's the same for the sister. They never really specified, but I'm going to guess that it was the same ish. And the spell lasts for like 6 to 8 hours. So as long as her magic's still there, they'll still sleep. So after 6 to 8 hours, they'll wake up. He feels refreshed. Blah blah blah. He becomes obsessed with the feeling of being able to sleep. Now, Lillian, being a transmigrator, ends up thinking that the emperor's only obsessed with her, but after he finds true love, he'll leave her alone. You know, the normal type deal when it comes to transmigration does not work that way because they end up falling for the character. So I've read a lot of these lately, which really starts ticking me off. There's one called I wish to say farewell, and basically she's this villainess who collects all the handsome guys as trophies, basically as boyfriends and stuff. Well, after trying to let them go, they tend to get more obsessed with her, which pisses me right off because then they're starting a whole bunch of problems for her without even bothering to ask her why she's doing what she's doing in the first place. I mean, one of my first questions would be why? Like, even if she said she doesn't want to be with me, fine. That's fine with me. We don't have to be engaged. We don't have to be fiance and all this. But, it's an excuse. But that doesn't mean they can't stop seeing each other. Well, running into each other and stuff like that, you know? It's bound to happen. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a short break because I have the oven on and I need to go and put my spicy chicken patties in and I've got to pee. So, y'all will wait here and into oblivion and hopefully not fall over because this has been very unstable lately. I'm trying to stabilize it with my sweater, but anyway, I'll see you guys in a minute. I need food. Going for my food. Damn it. 47, 47, 47, 47. It got sidetracked. Uh, oh, I got really ticked off recently. Um, there was an advertisement on Evermerge on this game called Family Farm Adventure, and it's advertised as you supposedly fixing these problems, like use a towel to wipe things down, use bug spray to get rid of roaches and stuff like that. It was advertised as you actually being able to help the character and stuff like this. When you actually go to play it, it's not like that at all. Um, but I've realized they do that with every freaking game. Nikki is as advertised, basically. Just depends on which one you get. There's Lovely Nikki, there's Shining Nikki, and there's another one. Uh, I like Love Nikki better. But anyway, Evermerge, Fable Merge, or Merge Fables, Merge Islands, all this other crap is not as advertised. Just gonna let y'all know ahead of time, just in case some of you are debating on playing certain games because you're hearing me talk about them. They're not as advertised on your phone through other apps or anything. They're not what they say they are. Um, the ones that I found that I truly like are Evermerge, which is actually very fun. The only thing I don't like about it is that you have to keep traveling between these two places. The animal, where you have all the animals, and then the ones where you have all the food. I don't like it. Um, in the main part, let me show you. Big fish. That's where it says big fish. Oh, I'll put it closer. Close up. How does that make sense? Full screen. Look at it. I can't keep my hand steady. I'm not even gonna try. I have to wait a million years for it to load, but the the main screen makes it look much more fun than it actually is. Anyway, this is the main island. All these buildings that you see up here, you built. It's not for anybody else. It's not already there. You literally have to build them, which is really a pain in the ass because to do that, you have to go through building these little structures, sand castles, and stuff like that. Those, I'll show you in a second. The, these right here, the characters, aside from Miss Snooty Princess there, you have to build every other character except for him. Um, and then you build their places. And some of them you can't mine from, but anyway, here we are. There's beehives, sandcastles, carts, coins, and these little flutes. I've got one of those. You can see it. It's got yeah, right here in the middle. It's Jack's flute, so I'll have one more mouth to feed. Um, the princess, the mermaid, Puss in Boots, and the big guy, can't ever remember his name. All of them are characters that you build, and then you have to constantly feed them, which is what these little things are. And if you go, where is it? Over here to quest. It tells you what ingredients you need to feed each character. And recipes and stuff like that. Of course, these little glowing orbs are very helpful when you get them. They don't happen as often as I would like, but whatever. It's better than nothing. Anyway, you get anyway, it's well, it's practically better than nothing. Uh, you have to build these things and crap like that and merge all these things. Everything here is mergeable. These crystals, these little round crystals right here, can be used to merge things, to merge uh 3 to 5 things if you do not have enough of the stuff. I've been saving them because it's a pain in the butt to go through. To I'm saving them just in case there's an event going on where I need to merge certain things together. 42, we got 5 minutes. Um, and it's pretty fun. But recently, what has been taking up most of my time when playing these games on my phone is the one that wasn't as advertised. Turn that down. Family Farm Adventure. Now they advertise this as completely different. She shows up in the middle of the wilderness to an empty, broken down cabin with a little boy. And you're supposed to help her fix up the place so that they survive. That is what that's what it was advertised as, not what you get. So once it loads, sorry about my cracked screen and the advertisements they gotta give me. Anyway, this main island is gigantic. This is just a small portion of it. It's very difficult to move around and show you everything. There are still parts to unlock over here. There's my huts and everything. Airship. Uh, I have everything in a certain place. Hardware things and stuff like that. Metals, shovels, fabrics, and stuff like that, all in one place. Huts all in one place, and then flowers all in one place. Food things all in one place. And it's not as advertised. Well, not as it was advertised for me, which I thought would be a really fun game to play. Anyway, there's all these freaking things that you save up your gold. Like when you first start out, the best thing to do with this game is to save your money and to I saved up until I had about 6,000. It was gone in the blink of an eye. Um, you do get you do get more money as you complete these quests. I'll show you that in a second. Okay. Where this little carrier pigeon is, he gives you these little quests that you can do for people, send them stuff, and gives you a set amount of money for it. Um, then there's the airship, which you don't get till later. The airship you have to fill with all of these things. And to do that, you click on the boxes and you hit load. And this gives you money when you load it, plus, yeah, this is right there. The experience you get and the money you get for loading it. And then once you send the airship off, you get just around 2,000, just around 3,000 coins each time you do this. But if you don't load it fast enough, all of that stuff that you've loaded in it will disappear. You will not get any of it back, which I gotta say sucks, but whatever. Oh, what did I need? Soups. Stupid soups. But I need more honey for the stupid soups. You unlock more things as you go. Um, I need to unlock as much of this as I can for beehive now. And each time you go through and the animals or the beehive or anything like that will turn to gold. Now their food does disappear, um, but it does turn to gold and it leaves behind these little jelly beans, which you can use. Let me put the bees here. Then put out the food. Okay. And this is the juice bar. You click on it, and if you have fruits and stuff, you can fill it up to get extra energy. Now, the fruits and then the candy both do that for you. Later, when you're later on, you end up getting this campfire, which gives you coffee and or rainbow juice. The coffee you need beans for, but the rainbow juice is all for. Oh no, I forgot. Almost completely forgot about my food. I went over the cooking time by 2 minutes. It wasn't burnt. So anyway, like I was saying, then you get this campfire, which gives you rainbow juice. Um, Rainbow juice is what you use the jelly beans for after your chickens and goats and stuff stop laying their set amount of eggs and stuff. They will turn to gold and drop the jelly beans, and then you have to go and buy new ones. Now, as you buy them, they go up in price, and you can only have a certain amount to start with, and then you get more and more. Um, the same with flower houses and stuff like that. You have a set amount to start with, and as you level up, you get more, which I gotta say is really a pain in the butt. Then you have this little game here for merging things is um actually really fun. But it also gives you energy, which is really freaking cool. Um and it gives you energy experience. Sometimes it'll give you gold as well. It just depends. There are all sorts of different things that you can uh, merge and make. Mm, hiccups out of nowhere. Uh, I usually tend to make two of everything just to be on the safe side. Like it'll give you your little quest over here as to what you're supposed to fill as what you're supposed to make. I tend to make two of everything and then wait till the time. Uh, then wait for when it tells me that it's time for the mission to go, and then I see how much I actually needed. But if I start out with two, it's not as bad and kind of makes it a bit easier to handle. Uh, Now, every um, the times change, so I'm not entirely sure how to do this. Every set amount of time, uh, the little guy in the middle that you can push to get more stuff. This little lemur, you can tap him to get more stuff. He only gives you a set amount. Sometimes it's 50, sometimes you don't get as much. Um, but it's different every time. Uh, he will again give you a set amount, and and then you'll have to wait till the appointed till his time runs out to get more stuff to make more stuff. Um, it's actually a very addictive game. Just gonna throw that out there now. Um, and when you need energy, yeah, he's giving me like an hour and a half before I can click on him again for more stuff. But and then I have about 6 hours before the next thing. So I keep all this stuff here I keep all of this stuff here until this time goes out. Once it goes out, I can send them all the stuff that I made, and they will give me my rewards for it. What did I need? Which I need to make more of those. Because now I have none and I don't have grass. So how many of these do I have? I'm trying to run my own flowers too. You cannot grow grass on your own. Just gonna say that out now. Um, these bushes, these trees, and the rocks and stuff like that, you can tear them down. Uh, Not there. This is hard to do. Uh, you use a set amount of energy for each thing, but all of the things that I have on the screen now don't give me grass, which really sucks because that's the one thing I need. So I'm gonna have to go to one of the other places to get it. Now, when you first start out in this area for all of this stuff, um, you don't have as much room. What I suggest doing before you go to any other place, um, aside from if the quest takes you there, is to stay on the main island and clear it first, which is what I should have done, which is why I'm telling you. Um, is to stay on the main island and clear everything. That way you have room. Uh, each different character that you meet or talk to or anything like that, or the main character knows, they will give you missions and stuff. And you're an adventurer. Okay. For some reason it's growing up, but right now my only quest is to follow the white flowers. That's literally the name of the quest, follow the white flowers. Then you have the map. When you first get this one or this one, don't go to them. Don't do anything on them. Go back to your main island and continue using all your energy there, knocking down trees, all this stuff. So you're building up materials. Uh, when you get certain buildings, what is it? Like the wood shop, I recommend that anytime once you unlock these, any of them, have at least 10 in your inventory at all times to start with before you go to any of the islands because you're going to need them as well as base materials. So build 10 of these items, stay in the main area, build 10 of these items, and keep clearing it. Once you have all that done, then go to the island. Because sometimes what you need and what you don't need change depending on which characters you will be finding there. Um, Again, the best way to earn quick money is to, uh, excuse me, is to that what I was saying. Is the fastest way to earn money. Um, but you lose materials that way because they'll ask you for a vase of sunflowers, they'll ask you for corn, they'll ask you for nails, soups, and stuff like this. When you get the airship, it's not really worth doing these. Um, it's fun to do in between the times that you have with the airship, but yeah, not really worth doing when all you've got is the airship. These, let me show you. When you go to the flower shop here, one of them has two, one of them has three, and that's because I unlocked one. Um, the sunflower vases, you can never have too many of them. And I mean, you can never have too many of them. With the farm, you will want to keep things going as much as possible. I have all the way up to a carrot unlocked, and it's a bit weird when planting things. So you have to hold it and then drag it to plant it, which I missed one, obviously. I missed two, obviously. Duh. Um, and they grow really fast, but you can make them grow faster with fertilizer and stuff. I suggest not using that. Don't use the fertilizer. Don't use the time thing to speed up anything. Um, I only do it for the animals because you run out of milk, honey, and eggs real fast. Especially if you're making the food to get 10 at a time. Um, which is the best to do. You want 10 at all times in your inventory. If someone is asking you for something like a quest or one of those things on the bulletin board, you make them. You don't take out what's in your inventory. Make them because you're going to want to save what's in your inventory for later. Yeah. Now, when I was first playing this, I did not notice. I'm just bugging out a lot today. Huh? Me? No way. Says who? State of Washington. Blah, blah, blah. Mm. I'm going to guess this is going to want me to do my let's see. Oh, Washington's stupid. I don't know. Something about child tax thingy. It won't affect your benefits at all and crap like this. Child tax credit information.
No,
I don't need
No,
that shit.
no. if you had your daughter, it'd be different.
Yeah.
What's that? You don't know yet?
This
You
is
should
what
know
I
it.
ordered from China.
What?
A mini projector, which won't eat up the electric bill, which is awesome, and a stuffed animal. I ordered this before Mama gave me the TV. I didn't think she would actually ever give me the TV. She said she needed a new one, and I was like, okay, but she just kept it in her room. Ended up not being able to get a new one because they never have her Vizio. Because they don't have the Vizio, she won't get a new one. But she
Probably ought to go to Best Buy.
that's what I told her, and she said she doesn't want to because it's more expensive
They're about the same. What I've seen, cameras and things like that. Oh.
there. Sorry, I'm a little upset right now. Um, don't order anything off of TikTok. Just don't do it. Don't. Um, I ordered a mini projector and a stuffed Stitch. Instead, what I got was two fucking fans, lights. These are lights and headphones. Don't order anything from there. Anyway, what I was saying was with the farming, you're going to want to rotate through all of them. Sunflowers, oats, carrots, corn, whatever. Um, the flowers and carrots take forever. The oats take a little longer as well. Okay, see, this is what I ordered. The Stitch plushie. You can't see it that way. Anyway, large Stitch plushie and the Nebula capsule projector, and it says it's not here yet, supposedly. Yet I got these all the way from China. These came from the place that supposedly is where my stuff still is. So unless these are the free gifts that I get, it's not what I ordered. Mhm. No, I'm not installing any more shit. This useless place. Definitely this was money. I'm gonna call them later. Shit. It's not what I ordered. Who the fuck wants two hand fans? Like, I didn't order that shit. I don't need that shit. One, the mini projector. That would be fun. Wait to call them today. I'll do it tomorrow. Anyway. Once you go to a new island on Family Farm Fun Adventure, um, you don't want to leave anything undone. So even if you've completed the quest there, do not leave. Make sure you have all the bushes, the rocks, anything like that taken down. Um, uh, all of the trees chopped down, all of the bushes uprooted, all of this. If you're not sure whether something can be torn down or not, click on it and it'll tell you if you can or not and how much it'll take. Um, how much energy it'll take to knock down. They're gonna take over the world and they're fucking retarded. Anyway, um, so yeah, once you get to the new island and you have everything knocked down and you've completed the quest, then you can leave the island and go to the next island. These islands unlock as you go. Um, the Oasis is unlocked after you leave. And after you leave an island, you have, I believe it was 50 or 60 something hours um, before that island closes for good. You can't go back to them, which I gotta say sucks. I did not know that. So when I left the island, I thought I could still go back. No, no, you cannot. You cannot collect the resources or hidden objects from that island anymore. So yeah, um, I'm gonna leave that here today. I I'm not even gonna finish eating. I'm just gonna go ahead and go out and smoke and then finish eating later. That's how upset I am. Yeah, okay. Have a beautiful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day it is for you. And I will see you all again later. I hope you have, I don't know. Anyway, bye.